Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a David Bowie video, and this is a new album that I picked up, and the album is Hunky Dory, his fourth studio album, David's, and recorded in August 1971 in London, and I paid £12 for this album on vinyl. The vinyl is a really good vinyl. There's not a scratch on it. And yeah, the cover, I wouldn't say it's tatty, but I don't really care. I'm not playing the cover. I'm playing the album. I'm not one of these guys who's going to spend 50 quid on albums, 70 quid on albums, 100 quid on albums. You know, I mean, I'm looking for bargains. I got this for 12 quid. It's an absolute bargain. It's a fantastic album. I mean, this is iconic. The picture of David here is absolutely such an iconic. I mean, he really does know what he's doing, David. There's no doubt about it. He knows what he's doing, as well as he's got one of the best voices of all time. In the 70s. The 70s is the best. It's unbelievable, the 70s. You've got artists like this guy, David Bowie, and Mark Bolan, and other artists. But we're going to talk about, because I love Mark Bolan, and I love David Bowie, and I love glam rock. I love Sweet and Slade. They're my bands of all time. But we're here to talk about David, who's one of my artists of all time. He just knows what he's doing. Have you got an artist like this in today's music? No, there's no one that could get near him. I mean, this guy is, look at this picture here. This is unbelievable. He's got to go down as having some of the best front covers of all time, David Bowie. The covers are just iconic, you know. Pin-ups, what a great cover that is. Pin-ups, but we'll get to that one another time, but let's focus on this. And Low as well. Low, that orange cover, what a cover that is. You know, if you're going to do covers of all time, it's got to be Bowie. I mean, this is just so you're looking at a record, you're going into a record shop and you're looking through albums and you come across this and you're thinking, who is this guy? If you didn't know David Bowie, you're immediately attracted to the cover here. It's sexual in many ways, and dare I say it, it's got a bisexual feel to it, hasn't it? You know, that's why David knows what he's doing. It's kind of bisexual in many ways. You know, I mean, you had the other one before that, David in a dress. He knows what he's doing. See, he's the imagery and the chivalry. He just knows what he's doing. You know, it's not only about if you've got a good image, but he had a good voice, and he's a very talented guy. Very, very talented. What a picture this is. What do you think of this picture, guys? This is unbelievable picture, isn't it? This hunky dory. Absolutely brilliant picture, this. You know, as I said, chivalry. I'm looking for other words to describe it, but it's just iconic. It's his hair. Look at it, the color of his hair. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and the way it just fades in here as well. This is an amazing cover. Absolutely awesome cover. And it would just, if you was looking for records in a record shop, it would just attract you right. It would grab your attention, wouldn't it? And thinking, I don't know anything about this guy. I've never heard of him before. If you haven't heard of him, I mean, talking back then, if I haven't heard of him, I might even buy this album just on the cover alone. Okay, it's come on this green label. Um, rather than the orange one. I'm not sure if there was an orange one. I think there was an orange one. I'm not quite sure whether. I've played it and it sounds really loud and it sounds fantastic on this green one. And it says there 1971 RCA. And the writing here, it says England distribution. So I think it's an original on this green one. I quite like the green actually, but the orange one is the best. But this is David's first album for this record label, RCA, so it could have been on the green one. I didn't have enough money back in 1971 to get this. I'm only just getting it now. I've had this album before, but I sold all my record collection and I'm just getting albums back. I've got this on CD as well. Yeah, it's kind of really cool at the back as well, isn't it? The back of the album. This is the back of the album. It's pretty cool there, David, in them trousers. And he had long hair there. Okay, let's go through the tracks, because this was the album before the great glam rock album, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. But there's no doubt about it. The 70s albums from David Bowie were the best of all time. I like David Bowie's voice on this album. I like his tone on this one. I haven't done a ranking of David Bowie yet. I'm not even sure that I would put Ziggy at number one, although the other day I did say Ziggy was the best Bowie album, but I'd have to really think about it because this is a close challenger, this one, and so is Aladdin Sane. Those three albums on the trot. I mean, all David Bowie's 70s albums are great. I mean, I'm really into Station to Station at the moment. That's a fantastic album. But we're getting into this album, which I got the other day, and it's perfect vinyl. Absolutely corker of an album, this. So let's have a look at the tracks. Changes. Changes and place the strength. Yeah, brilliant song. One of David's best songs of all time. Oh, you pretty things. I like the piano at the beginning of that. In fact, he gave that one to Hermits Hermits, didn't he? That guy from Hermits Hermits, Peter Noon, and he had success with that song. Peter Noon. I think he got to number 12 with that one. Third track, 8-line poem. That's a very interesting track, isn't it? I like that a lot. And the best track on the album, I think, for me, is number 4, Life on Mars. Probably one of David Bowie's best songs of all time. So that's on this album. Kooks. That's about David's son, Kooks. His son, called Duncan. And Quicksand. Yeah, another great song. Fill Your Heart. There's one for Andy Warhol. He was into this American thing because it goes from Andy Warhol to the song for Bob Dylan, because he was into Dylan as well, very heavily influenced by Bob Dylan. And who wouldn't be? Because Bob Dylan's one of the greatest songwriters of all time. A lot of people were influenced. Even Mark Bolan liked Bob Dylan. So did David. Queen Bitch. That's a great track, Queen Bitch. I think it's about Lou Reed. And Lou Reed was bisexual as well, wasn't he? And also, David, he gave all the young dudes to Mott the Hoople, and he gave this track, "Oh You Pretty Things," to Peter Noon from Hermit's Hermits, and he gives Queen Bitch is about David and Lou Reed. I don't know what's going on there, but he went on to produce Lou Reed Transformer, didn't he? The album. And Walk on the Wild Side, David's song. Take a walk on the wild side. And the album ends with the Bellamy brothers, the Bewley brothers, sorry. What a track that is. That is a strange track. But Queen Bitch could have been put on Ziggy, a great song, that Queen Bitch. Very, probably the start of glam rock for me, that one. Queen Bitch, not actually the start of glam rock, because Mark Bolan started glam rock, T-Rex, with Hot Love. I'm talking about David's intervention into glam rock. Queen Bitch is it's a song that could really fit on Ziggy. It could have gone on that album, actually. So I love this green RCA. Absolutely awesome. And yeah, love this album. There were 2 singles from this album, wasn't there? Changes and Life on Mars. But because it was his first one for RCA, me growing up in the 70s, I was 10 in 1972. And so in 1973, I heard Life on Mars. I heard it. I can't recall hearing it in 1972. I heard it when the Gene Genie was out and Drive-In Saturday. Because I think RCA, when they saw David getting success, they didn't even release Life on Mars until late 72. Late 72. It's got late as 72 on it. And this album is a 1971 album. And so Life on Mars wasn't released at the time in 1971. It was released later, very late in 1972. And it entered the charts in the UK in 1973, at the time with Drive-In Saturday in the Gene Genie. So Life on Mars came 2 years after this album was recorded, after he recorded Life on Mars on this album. And I think, I'm not sure whether David, because I know David plays the piano on this, and so does Rick Wakeman. Rick Wakeman is also on the album. I'm not sure who plays the opening piano on Life on Mars, whether it's Rick or David himself. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review of Hunky Dory, this iconic photograph of David just knocks me for 6. It's a classic album, this one. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video promoted. And if you're a Bowie fan, you will hit the like button. And drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think of the cover. Is this your favourite David Bowie cover out of all of his albums? Let me know. That's what the comments are for. And I do enjoy reading the comments. Thank you so much and take care. Have a good day, and we'll have another video very, very soon.